This is the second of two videos where I am covering independent tabletop games as part of Independent Tabletop Role-Playing Game Month. Last time, I examined Black Sword Hack, a sword and sorcery inspired RPG where you'll probably hear the Anvil of Crom by Basil Polidorus thundering away in the background the whole time you play the game. Today I'm looking at Deathbringer by Dan Masters. For those of you who don't know, Dan Masters also goes by Professor DM, and you can find him on his much more successful YouTube page, Dungeon Craft. I'll put up some links for it. He's also one of the motivating forces behind Independent TTRPG Month, so I thought it fitting to purchase the game and give it a gander. Deathbringer is a rules-light fantasy tabletop role-playing game wherein frail characters risk life and limb in extreme adventures. The focus is on fast-paced, perilous undertakings, but it also remembers it's a game, and the point is to have fun. One of Deathbringer's spiritual predecessors is Warhammer Fantasy Role-Playing, sharing its grim, lethal, over-the-top aesthetic, while also being in on the joke and not taking itself too seriously. Deathbringer is, in essence, the most accessible flavor of Warhammer Fantasy Role-Playing. It uses a basic D20 system, the math is all simple, and the single-page character sheet records all the vital information while also just being a stepping stone to developing a memorable adventurer. The rules themselves can be printed and folded out into a pamphlet. There's no massive tome of rules to risk forgetting, and any information can be easily referenced. Hero Quest has more rules than Deathbringer. The accessibility of the game is first-rate. The initial paragraph of the rules state it's more of a kit, but the rules can be used standalone to create characters and an implied setting. Borrowing a few enemies from just about any fantasy role-playing game will help create an adventure. There's even help on how to convert spells and monsters from other games to work with Deathbringer's rules-light, streamlined system. One of the game's defining features is Deathbringer dice. These can be used to add 1d6 to any 1d20 roll, inflict or absorb additional damage, attempt incredible feats like killing someone with a leg of mutton, or the dice can be spent to give the Deathbringer character class additional attacks. This game jettisons most class features, skills, feats, and other trappings to replace them with these Deathbringer dice, which requires players to think and then spend them over the course of the game rather than picking abilities out of a rulebook. There are other fun rules like Corruption, which can turn your character into a monster that's controlled by the DM, different classes like the Witch Hunter, Plague Doctor, and Titular Deathbringer, and critical miscast for spells that have gory effects. There's even a table to randomly describe kill shots and lethal attacks. Most of these rules highlight the foreboding atmosphere and certainty of injury or death. Because everything is presented with a satirical slant, though, the tone comes across as playing the straight man to its own exaggerated bleakness, rather than insufferable edgelord nonsense. Because of the minimal rules and ease of implementation, Deathbringer can be an overlay or hack for other D20 fantasy role-playing games, changing the flavor or making them grimmer and more perilous, like it says on the tin. It's already fit for Shadow Dark or other OSR games and D&D retro clones. Available at DriveThruRPG as a PDF, Deathbringer can be acquired for about $3 US, making it an absolutely incredible purchase for any gaming group. It's inexpensive, meaning the financial barrier of entry is practically negligible. Only Cairn and Basic Fantasy RPG are less expensive because they're free. If you're looking for a grim-dark tabletop role-playing game or want to add some grit to a fantasy RPG you're already playing, definitely pick up Deathbringer and give it a whirl. The ease of use, streamlined mechanics, clear tone, and incredibly low price point make this game virtually risk-free, especially if you're looking to try out something rules light. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my peculiar notions and to hear about some games during Independent TTRPG Month that might be new to you. I'll have some links below to Deathbringer, the Dungeon Craft channel, and some of my written analysis and reviews. If you appreciate what I'm doing here, you know what to do. You should also take time to like and comment on videos of another YouTuber that you watch who also has a low subscriber count. It helps with the Eldritch sideshow that is YouTube's algorithm. Until next time, live and be well.